Have you ever wondered why your golf shots seem to go really high, but with no distance? This problem is normal and is often down to a lack of compression on the golf ball and flipping type motion through the hit. I'm going to show you how using the HackMotion and changing your wrist angles through the ball can completely transform your game. If you haven't already watched my previous video on the HackMotion device, watch this video now. So what I see with a lot of golfers is very much that impact position. We see the club head out-racing the hands or out-racing the handle, which as we can see is naturally going to add a lot of loft onto the club. We're going to probably lose strike, thin or fat it. Low point gets back, so very much like this. So my low point's getting behind. Or if we make solid contact, so I'm using an 8-iron here, we can see how that ball goes extremely high in the air with not a lot of carry for me, so only a foot 145 yards. So very much what we're looking at is how can we change how the lead wrist is moving to control that club face better. So again, using the HackMotion system, we can see here that it's highlighting through the ball, there's too much extension of the lead wrist, and it wants more or less extension, more flexion, which if you think about this logically, if that lead wrist is not doing this, but it's doing more of this, the handle, the grip of the club is ahead of the club head, which is automatically already going to create some more shaft lean. So I'm going to use the HackMotion to see if we can work on this position with some clear drills and how it might completely transform your game. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my lead hand only on the club. And I'm going to put it behind the ball. Now this position, I'm in a little bit of extension, which HackMotion is shown as red. If I go further this way, obviously that's creating more extension and that will be more of that flip position. Whereas if I slowly push forwards into more of a flex state, you can now hear the HackMotion singing to me and vibrating on my wrist to tell me I'm in the right position for that flexion. Now, it's important for golfers who struggle to get into that position to just fundamentally know what it looks like when they look at their lead wrist, their club shaft and the club face. So if I now put my trail hand on, what does that do to create it? So what do I have to do to get that more flex state? Now if I was to say, right, I'm going to try and almost pretend I'm at an actual impact, if I open up my body and get that shaft lean, this is what we're looking for. Now, that's a really hard thing to do at full speed for nearly all golfers, so I'm going to show you some simple drills on how we can apply that. And in some ways, we don't even need the HackMotion to tell us if we're doing it, because we're going to use the ball flight and the changing ball flight to give us feedback. Okay, so all we're going to focus on, using a short iron, probably anywhere from an 8-iron to a wedge, we're just going to do a half chip swing. So I'm going to set the club at around about shaft parallel on the backswing. And I'm just going to try and chip the club, feeling like I'm keeping that lead wrist more flexed. Okay, now just by doing this, especially with HackMotion, I'm getting instant feedback on whether I'm creating that position and consistently in the yellow. Now, that means then I've got to really exaggerate to get it into the green, and that's obviously a feel versus real thing. Now if you think about what I'm asking you to do, if we get more shaft lean, we're naturally going to take a little bit of loft off the club, or at least presenting the true loft of that club. We're also going to be hitting more down on it, and we're also going to be hitting more of the center, so the ball flight is going to come down. So if you're using a simulator, you can use the launch angle to see what's happening. So if I just do this motion and really feel that wrist angle, so I'm just a little half swing and chipping. Now straight away, I'm in the green. So I've got my lead wrist in the correct position. And an example here, the peak height, so the height that ball's gone is only 21 feet. Now that's good because if I do the opposite, if I do the same thing and let my wrist flex, so there to there, straight away I'm nearly 10 feet higher because I've added loft. I've not done anything different other than change my lead wrist flex. So all I'm looking for is shaft parallel roughly, then really feel like we get that wrist, that left wrist, trying to shut it down. Feel versus real, and really keep that position. So even then, I'm in yellow, so it's not perfect. I've hit it a little bit harder, a little bit faster, so I've got to try and feel that even more, a bit softer. And I'm back in the green. So for me to change that lead wrist position, I have to work quite hard for that, because when I go longer and faster, I'm losing my angles, because obviously there's more speed, there's more force, and it's less awareness. So I've got the green again. So using the HackMotion, I'm just focusing on, can I get that launch down? So that one's down at 18, and I'm in the green with my lead wrist. So they correlate to what I'm looking to achieve. Once I start consistently getting in the green like I am now, naturally we're just going to go a little bit longer, and let's go left arm or lead arm parallel and see if we can get that same feel, but with the view of that ball flight being much lower. So that felt okay. I'm in the green, which is the main thing. And we're starting to see a few shots start to drift left, which we might expect in the short term, because obviously we're shutting that face down, and we just need to match that up to the body now being able to turn more. Because in theory, if my club's doing this, the more I turn and extend, the more consistent and stable that club face is. So I'm just going to go and now apply that, and straight away that felt great. I've hit a really nice push draw that's straight, and I'm in the green. So as we can see, is that ball flight, the push draw, starting slightly right at target, drawing back and a bit lower, is a matchup to that lead wrist. So if I now go a bit longer but keep a little less speed, still in the green. So what's happening is I'm using that HackMotion, I'm using my ball flight to basically just match up the movement that I need to do in my wrists to basically change that flipping motion. And what's really interesting is the ball strike is so much stronger, because again, I'm getting the shaft lean, I'm hitting down on it. And that's all just coming through how I'm feeling and understanding my lead wrist work through the shot. Now I like to get golfers then to go, okay, go back to what you feel is more of like the flip or the extension of that lead wrist, and notice how different that is straight away. It completely changes the shot, the trajectory, the spin, and the dispersion. So if you're going to get better at golf and more consistent and hit the ball further, how your lead wrist works through the shot, through impact, is essential to that. Now what's great, I'm getting consistently green in through impact at different lengths and at different speeds. So now I've worked up, this is how you can practice. Very much right, I'm going to go short to see if I can do that. Felt good. HackMotion says it is good. Now I'm going to go middle, so left arm parallel. Felt okay, but HackMotion likes it, so already showing that even if it's not great, I'm still getting in the parameters that I need. Now I'm just going to go full swing. And again, felt good. Ball flight is consistent, in the green, very little starting to go left now. That's a perfect example of a stable face, and just using the feedback tool and drills to break the swing down to work through. Now all you're going to do is the exact same thing with longer clubs, shorter clubs, and work that into your game, consistent practice, and let the results speak for themselves. So if you like the HackMotion, you think it's something that could help your game, which I know it has for me, you can click on the link here to purchase, and at checkout, if you use the code SVGP, you can get a discount of 5% off to start your journey to better golf.